maybe it's become unfashionable these days to stay with an organization. If you're chasing a goal which is having a strong job purpose, I find no reason why anyone should shift. Because you are in the organization for a certain period of time, your view about learning new things, organizations' confidence on investing on you as a leader for the future also goes up. When you're chasing career, money will start chasing you at some point in time.
Hi, my name is Divas Gupta, and in this episode of Workwise with Naukri, we'll discuss how you can grow your roots in the same company. Today, we are interviewing Ankur Agarwal, who currently serves as the General Manager and Head of Marketing at TTK Prestige Limited. Ankur's journey began with Prestige in 2009 when he joined as an area sales manager. Now, an impressive 14 years and 7 months later, he's not only stayed with the same company but has also achieved remarkable growth. So let's hear from Ankur what motivated him to stay in the same company and how you can do it too. Welcome, Ankur, to Workwise with Naukri.
Thank you so much, Devas.
I have a question. I was going through your LinkedIn profile and I was made to think that has this gentleman watched a lot of Bollywood movies while growing up?
I have, and I believe most Indians have watched a lot of Bollywood movies. We all have grown with that. And a lot of our behavioral traits are thanks to the Bollywood movies that have inculcated in us over a period of time.
So have you watched like a lot of romantic movies? The reason why I ask this because you have fallen in love with the company from past 15 years and Bollywood has taught us how to fall in love.
Oh my God. Yes, I like a lot of romantic movie. The truth is, I like a lot of genre, including romantic, but falling in love with the company is more than just watching Bollywood movies. It's to do with a lot of motivation. It's to do with a lot of culture that the organizations bring in. It's to do with a lot of values that the management transcends into the individuals while growing into an organization.
Let's dissect it one by one.
Yeah.
So what is your story? I mean, you started as an area sales manager with Prestige, the company which made us fall in love with cooking.
Yes,
right?
And I love cooking. So one thing is that if you love your job, you need to love cooking, at least in TTK Prestige. So my journey is like this. I started as a management trainee. Okay, right out of college. And then I started looking into sales. I was in Hyderabad. I was looking, at that time the erstwhile Andhra. I was heading appliances as an area sales manager for the zone. From there, I came into product management function. From product management function to media to heading marketing. So the reality and the truth is that the job changes that have happened over right intervals have helped me at least keep growing and loving my job day after next. So today is much better than yesterday, and I believe tomorrow would be better than what today is.
Absolutely. And then in this world where people do switch jobs after every 2 or 3 years for better opportunities, you never had this feeling that why should I stay with the same company in spite of having a good culture, good management? What was your reason that made you stay with this company?
Everyone is human. I am human too. So I have had my low. I have had my high. There has been times when I have felt that yes, it's enough. Okay, but the motivation to do better has always kept me going. So it's just that it's momentary. One thing that I have inculcated and I have done to keep this motivation going is the creativity in work, is shadowing. I mean, training has been a very important part of my journey in the organization. It's not only that formal training that we talk about. It's not the classroom training, but it's shadowing of what your bosses have been doing, management has been doing. It's peer-to-peer learning. It's also informal learning about jobs and cohorts which are not part of your KRAs have always helps you going. So if you only stick to your KRAs, if you only stick to what is being asked of you to do, it becomes boring over a period of time. And then you start thinking about salaries. Then you start thinking about bringing in motivation, which becomes increasingly difficult. So that's not the case with me. That's not the case with a lot of people, at least in my peer group. I have been speaking who have stayed with a lot of organizations over a period of time. Maybe it's become unfashionable these days to stay with an organization.
Exactly.
If the growth is coming,
Yes.
okay, if you're loving what you're doing day in and day out, if you get up from your bed in the morning and then feel, yes, I have to finish this during the day time, if you're chasing a goal which is having a strong job purpose, I find no reason why anyone should shift. My journey has been as interesting as it can get. I mean, yes, we all have that pressure. I had that pressure of some of my peers maybe earning little more than what I was doing.
Yes.
Okay, but is money the only motivation? It's very short-lived. If you run away from, what happens is, if you chase money, money stops chasing you.
Okay.
So you chase
Go a bit deeper into this.
I'm just going deeper into what I said. You should chase your career. When you're chasing career, money will start chasing you at some point in time. And that's a better situation to be in than to be chasing money. Because when you're chasing money, money will always be one step ahead of you.
Okay.
And you'll never get it. Right? When you're chasing careers, when you're chasing what you love to do, money will automatically start chasing you at some point in time. I'm not saying money is not important. Money is extremely important, which organization will take cognizance of when you are performing. And when you perform, when you are actually very motivated, when you love doing what you do, and what you do, what interests you. So here, your peers play a very big role. Opportunities within the organization play a big role. Job role changes may play a big role. And your personal childishness, you become your childishness to learn something, your inquisitiveness to go after something helps a lot making you grow over a period of time.
So you shared your personal drive to stay with this company.
Yes.
I remember one of my friend, we both started working with Infosys and I left after 2 years, but he stayed with the company for 9 years. And we as a group of friends would think that he's a big time loser because he never had opportunities. He didn't have the guts to try something new. He was playing safe all his life. You never had this feeling of comparison with your batchmates?
Actually, no, because I have looked forward to go to office or go to work every single morning, and that has made me do better than what I was always doing, look forward to something new. What happened to you and your friend tends to happen to a lot of
people,
my colleagues. The reasons are varied. Okay, one, like I said earlier, it's become fashionable to change, which is why people want to change. But more than fashionable, I believe that a lot of time the characteristics of the organization and that individuals don't go hand in hand, or the aspiration that one individual has in his life don't match up to it. It can be salary. It can be as simple as inadequate management. You don't relate to what the management thoughts are.
True.
It can be that your peer groups are not challenging you enough every day. And then you're becoming too comfortable. I mean, being in a comfort zone is not bad. It's not good either. I mean, you should, if you are comfortable and still able to deliver more, because you are comfortable, your bandwidth of work goes up, it's nice. If you are comfortable and you are only looking at 9 to 6, then it becomes, you are going into the wrong trajectory, because then your aspiration for growth has died. If your aspiration for growth dies off, wears off over a period of time, it is the sign that you need to change. Because then what happens is, you start delivering less and less, your need to be in an organization's growth story starts diminishing. And that's not the situation one wants to be in.
So what I understand, it has got a lot to do with individuals' behavior. For example, if I don't like to change my environment every now and then, and I want the factors around me to be stable so that I can perform better, right? That's a great way to look at staying in your current role. Just because the world is making this noise that if you have to grow, you have to leave. If you have to grow, you have to leave. That does not make sense to everyone because everyone's way of working is different. So, Ankur, what are the challenges of working in the same organization and also the perks of being in the same organization?
So, if you ask me, I've stayed in the organization for long, so
Yes.
perks definitely overweigh challenges.
That's why you were there.
That's why I'm here. And that's why a lot of people in TTK are there. I mean,
yeah.
it's a fantastic culture. So, that ways, I mean, I'll call myself fortunate. So, let me start with challenges because there are few and then I'll say
The
perks.
perks.
So, one challenge is that the continuous need to learn, the continuous need to be aware of your environment outside. What happens is when you're in the same environment, a lot of time you can get blindfolded by what's happening around you and outside of the universe that you can see. And those are the changes which can get missed by an individual. There is a lot of, I'll say, skill upgradation which needs to be done to be continuously performing. People miss that out because things are going well, so let it go well. Why do I need to
Chalta
upgrade? Chalta hai attitude.
Chalta hai.
और ये हो रहा है, रिजल्ट दे रहा है तो मैं चेंज
Why
क्यों
to
करूं?
change?
That should not, that attitude change can bring in a lot of dissonance in the environment that you're working in. It can bring in a lot of challenges posing your deliveries as an individual or as a leader in the future. So that challenges I see with a lot of people, and that can stuck you because of the comfort zone that you get into. So getting into comfort zone is the most dangerous situation that an individual can get into, being in a organization for a very, very long time. That is not the situation ideally one should get into, because you should challenging yourself, coming up with something new, being able to being creative in whatever sense. It's not only job of few individuals, right? Is extremely critical. Now, perks, you start getting a lot of authority around you because you know the environment. Your
People know you.
bandwidth goes up
Yeah.
drastically. So you
Bandwidth
can
as in?
bandwidth as an individual to handle some particular work because you know how things happen.
Okay.
The challenges within the organizations are known to you, right?
How to get the work done, you know it.
You know how to get the work done.
Who will do it, who will not do it. You know that.
Absolutely.
Who will approve it, who will not approve it. You know that. Okay.
And that is why your ability to handle more and more starts happening because you can get it faster.
Yes.
You know whom to approach, right? You know who will do it. You know how to do it yourself as well within the system. So the productivity goes up. Because you are in the organization for a certain period of time, your view about learning new things, organizations' confidence on investing on you as a leader for the future also goes up. Ideally, organizations wouldn't want to outsource leadership resources because they would want to keep their cultures intact for a certain period of time, and they would want leaders to grow internally. At a certain position, specifically technicals and specialist roles, it's important to get people from all fields because there are certain upgradations happening. But for roles which are generalist, and as you grow you become more generalist than specialist, and that happens to all individuals who are growing, you would want to know the culture better, and that opportunity is there with that individual more than someone who is coming from
the
outside. So that's very, very critical and important from both organization and individual's perspective.
One more perk. Mega perk.
Okay. One more perk is that you make a lot of friends with when you're switching
Relationship, right,
organizations,
relationship,
you generally only find colleagues.
It's transactional.
It's more transactional. When you're in the same organization, you create a family. You spend more time with those people than you actually spend with your own family. So you make friends for life. I mean, that also is important more than transactions in life, right?
In some cases, it doesn't work where a person would follow a path.
Yes.
He would stay in an organization.
Yes.
He would give the ideas.
Yes.
He would try to bring in the change, lead the change. Still, he gets disappointed.
Yes, it happens.
It happens.
It happens, and it's unfortunate.
Advice to them. What should they do?
It's unfortunate that it happens. But like the story of the ant climbing the wall, you need to keep trying again and again and again. You fail once, you fail twice. There are, with every failure, the chances of success keeps increasing. And maybe at the fourth time or the fifth time, you will get that success. And if you don't, let us say you don't want to spend 25 years only trying in the same place, right? I mean, someone would think that why would I keep trying for 25 years in the same place again and again with that failure? There are two ways to deal with it. One, being candid about that discussion and saying, look boss, my inputs are here. And definitely backed with data, because there's very little space for emotions in the corporate today, and rightly so. Okay. So look boss, I've been giving this input. My effort towards leading the change is here, but I don't think it's going in the right direction. Is there something else that I can do with it? Now, here what you are doing is, in the future, you are getting someone along with you with more commanding position, be part of that change. So the chances of success goes up. And if that also doesn't help, you try with your peers. If that doesn't help, maybe it's time you know that your efforts and your colleagues or your boss's way of thinking growth for you is just not aligning, and maybe your efforts are worth spending somewhere else.
So
but without giving that second try, third try, it's a bad idea to look out.
In fact, the second and the third try, it may ask you to go for job rotation as well.
Yes.
That can always give you some space to work within that same environment.
Yes, it does. Also, what it does is, in the second try, if you're making your colleague part of your idea generation, and specifically when he is a person who can influence decisions, then you're creating bigger chances of your things going in the way that you want it to go.
What's your advice to someone, an individual, who plans to follow a similar path, that he wants to stay with the company and grow his or her roots in that organization than going for a switch? What's your advice to that person? In the current times?
I will bucket my advice into 4 or 5 areas. One is, he should define his goal very clearly. He should know what he is chasing. Is he chasing learning? Is he chasing a particular designation? Is he chasing money? Or is he chasing job satisfaction? That definition should be clear in his mind. He should know his job purpose very well, what the organization needs from him and what he needs out of that job. Third, he needs to reward himself consistently. So if or that individual has done something good, okay, let us say if 100 was the target and he has done 105, organization rewards him or not, he should go and reward himself. That brings in a very different kind of motivation and self-satisfaction, because self-satisfaction is something that enables you and motivates you to keep doing more and more. He should always keep reminding himself of what depth he brings to the team, what knowledge and how important he is for the whole organization. That will always again give him motivation to come and perform better and better. It will always give him motivation to do better in that or in any other organization. That is, I mean, secondary for an individual's growth. And then definitely he should talk very frank of his expectation from his bosses and management, because in the zeal to only perform, a lot of people either are dissatisfied because either they are being actually paid less, or they have the feeling of being paid less.
Expectation mismatch.
Expectation mismatch. That should be clarified. That open discussion should happen with their bosses at least once in 6 months, if not once in a quarter. Okay, so that, and it can be formal or can be candid, but it always helps you to clear your mind. Otherwise that keeps brewing in your mind, and that is one big factor why people go and change, because they don't speak their mind out. Had you spoken it out and clarified it, lot of things would have got settled. So these are some 5 or 6 advices that I have for an individual who wants to pursue their career, and it's very possible. It's very true, given that you have that passion in you to go and perform and do and get what you want in your life.
The first one is so important, right? It like sets the context. Exactly what do you want? What are you like chasing? Maybe in your initial years, package is the only thing. Because generally, in case of colleges, a new joiner, he always looks at what I get as a starting salary, or maybe the brand that I'm getting to work with. But then maybe it's a fine blend, or maybe a percentage, that if I have a pie, that 40% importance to the salary, and otherwise, like, you know, 15% for your management style or the growth or the work or whatever things are happening. That can be a great way to have a balanced equation and then move ahead.
Yes and no both. Now, why I say yes and no both, because when you are good advice to management graduates specifically at this point in time when a lot of companies would be going for campus hiring, is to look at the quality of work that you're getting.
Okay, number one thing.
Number one and most important thing.
The quality of work.
Because if in 2 years time also, if you're wanting to shift, only that quality of work will lead the other organization to recruit you.
So great lesson for all the listeners. Ankur, thank you so much for your insight. It was an absolute delight listening to you.
Thank you so much.
You're setting a trend for the newbies to look up to. A world which is quite distracted by hop and skip, jump and switch. You are giving them an example that yes, you can always grow in your career by staying with one organization, provided you do well. And the way you've done it, you're actually an inspiration for the young leaders who are coming up the ladder. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for having me, Devas. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Pleasure, mine.
Thanks. Thanks for watching this episode of Workwise with Naukri. In this episode, we uncovered insights and strategies that can help you nurture your career within the same company and reach the level of growth you aspire to achieve. Hope you got good insights from this episode. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until then, this is Devas Gupta signing off, and we'll catch you in the next one.